back to shades of scripture. So we'll be talking about being built on the wrong foundation. And one thing you can think about while we're reading this is Jenga the game, okay? Well, if you think about what's the most important part of Jenga, it's really the foundation. And if it's not the right foundation, it'll just crumble and fall, you know? And the same thing can happen to us. If our foundation is built on anything but Jesus, we'll crumble, we'll fall, we'll go into darkness, and you don't want that. So right now we'll read out of Luke 15, verse 11 through 19.
This is the parable of the lost son. To illustrate the point further, Jesus told them this story. A man had 2 sons. The younger son told his father, I want my share of your estate now before you die. So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, this younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land. And there he wasted all his money in vile living. About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into the fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, at home even the hired servants have food enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. I will go home to my father and say, Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and am no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant.
Alright, well, in that story, it shows that the son's way led to pain and brokenness. And if he would have put God and his father first, he might have lived a better life, you know? And if you think about it, he was so messed up because he wants things to go his own way that even the stuff that he was feeding the pigs looked good to him. And because he was built on the wrong foundation, it left him empty. And that's something that will happen to us too. And if we're built on anything other than Jesus, we'll be left empty. And he wanted to fulfill himself, but instead of fulfilling Jesus, and it led to pain and brokenness. But we'll see you guys in part 2. Bye-bye.